All right, good evening, unwashed peasants. Today we're going to be talking about a cheap way to be able to get your models from real life photos to Tabletop Simulator. We're going to be using an app called Kiri AI or Kiri Engine, depending on where you're looking at it. It is available on the web, it's available through the App Store, and also through Google Play. There are multiple steps to importing models into Tabletop Simulator. I'm just going to be going over the 3D generation, or specifically the photogrammetry part. The other parts are Blender and Unity. Those two steps can be found through various guides. I'll be linking both of them. The Vala C guide, where he goes over how to import all of that stuff into Blender and Unity, and then also the Dice from Hell guide. Both of those guides use Zephyr. I don't personally use Zephyr anymore because I found it to be really tedious. It requires you to have an NVIDIA graphics card, which I used to not have, but even now that I have it, it still takes a few hours to generate a model, which I don't really like. And also, it doesn't really provide the best results. Kiri AI does a much better job. It is a lot faster and it's a lot cheaper because now you don't need a beefed up CPU. You can just take models with your phone, which is really awesome. All right, so without further ado, let's get into the guide. So this is what Kiri Engine looks like. This is the website version. As I mentioned earlier, there's other ones, and as you can see, I've already done a few test runs. I'm just going to give you a brief overview of what your little setup should look like. So as you can see, I've got a light box, 2 lamps, and then a camera. I personally use a camera because it provides me with better results whenever I'm taking photos. You can, however, just use your phone. It's totally up to you. The only difference is that while the camera does give you better results, Kiri Engine only is free for people who use their phone. If you use a camera and you're importing photos to Kiri Engine, it will cost $10 a month. It's really not that expensive when you think about the fact that you don't need it all the time. You can just pay the $10 when you're going to use it for a month and then get rid of the subscription until you're going to be uploading more models. So it's pretty cheap that way. The light box only cost me about 20 or $30, and then the 2 lights also only cost me about $20. Those are just to help get the full detail of the model and help Kiri be able to see everything on the model, all of the painting and the detail. This is the guide I was referencing earlier. This is the Dice from Hell guide. As you can see, there's 3 parts. The first one is taking photos and then using Zephyr. We're not using Zephyr, we're using Kiri. And then the second part is Blender, and the third one is Unity. We're just going to be going over this first part. Yeah, so this is all of that photo stuff that I was talking about. You guys can go ahead and read this. It's really important. Teaches you how to actually take the photos. But the one part that you're not going to be using in this section is the scanning and 3D Zephyr. As I mentioned earlier, for various reasons, I don't use it. And we're going to just be using Kiri Engine. The end result, however, is the same. You just have to end up with an OBJ file that you can import into Blender, which Kiri AI will do. Alright, so after you've taken your photos, they should look something like this. There should be about 25 at eye level, and then there should be 25 from a top level. This is just to help get a good idea of what the entire model looks like. You want to be getting as much of it as possible. I believe that Kiri takes up to 200 photos in total. We're just going to be doing 50 because that's how I originally learned how to do it, and that's all that you really need. You can do 200 if you really want to, but 50 is plenty. Alright, so this is the actual website. As you can see, there's the official one, the official website. There's the App Store and then the Google Play. I usually use the App Store, but for today's video, I'm just going to be doing the website. Alright, so here are my models. I've done a tank hunter, hospitower cutter, blah blah blah, all that jazz. I'm just going to be showing you guys how to upload one of these by yourself and get an OBJ. So it's going to prompt you to upload the pictures. You guys can't really see that right now since it's asking me to upload them through my file system, but you just choose your 50 photos and then it'll load in like this. The important part is you need to name it. So we're going to say Daylami test 4. And these are the other important parts. The face count should be high. Texture needs to be high. The file format must be an OBJ. The label can be whatever you want. That's not really important. You need to AI object mask. That's important because it helps to separate the model from the backdrop, and so it will just help Kiri give you a better render at the end. Visibility doesn't matter. That's just for the public. All right, and then we click create 3D model. It'll take some time, so it's going to upload all of the photos to the server, and then once it's done that, it'll actually create the model. We're not going to wait for that. We can just simply go to here. Whenever you go back to the website, it'll have all these options. You'll be able to see your model. You just click it, it'll download it, and then you can look at it in the Kiri website. Yeah, so it usually just comes out great. I haven't had any issues. There'll be all of this kind of like weird stuff at the bottom. That can all be just cut out in Blender whenever you need to base the model. So you don't really need to worry about that. Just click export. It'll download the model for you, and then it'll give you some options. There'll be 2 sets. There'll be 3 low poly files and then 3 normal files. You want to be putting those 3 normal files into a just a folder, and then you're going to be using that folder and importing that into Blender. I'm not going to be going over that, as I said earlier, since there are just better guides for that. All right, so then next up, I'm just going to show you guys what they look like in Tabletop Simulator. So here I've provided 3 examples of models that I've done. These 2 are right here are both done through Zephyr. This last one is the one that I was showing you earlier, and it was done in Kiri AI. As you can see, there is a little bit of a difference. Some of that has to do with camera settings and stuff, but I personally really love the way that the Kiri one looks. The 2 on the side are Zephyr. They have some issues that I just couldn't really deal with, so I decided to just make the switch. That's going to be it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope you guys find this very helpful. If you have any questions, just comment or DM me on Discord. I'd be happy to help you out. And yeah, I wish you guys the best of luck with your scanning, and I hope to see you guys upload your models. Anyway, good luck with your Infinity games, and see y'all in the future.